The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. 6 days before the Passover, Jesus came to Bethany, the home of Lazarus, whom he had raised from the dead. There they gave a dinner for him. Martha served, and Lazarus was one of those at the table with him. Mary took a pound of costly perfume made a pure nard, anointed Jesus' feet, and wiped them with her hair. The house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But Judas Iscariot, one of the disciples, the one who was about to betray him, said, "Why was this perfume not sold for 300 denarii and the money given to the poor?" He said this not because he carried about the poor, but because he was a thief. He kept the common purse and used to steal what was put in it. Jesus said, "Leave her alone. She bought this perfume so that she might keep it for the day of my burial. You always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me." When the great crowd of the Jews learned that he was there, they came not only because of Jesus, but also to see Lazarus, whom he has raised from the dead. So the chief priest planned to put Lazarus to death as well, since it was on account of him that many of the Jews were deserting and were believing in Jesus. The Gospel of the Lord. I was saying it at the very beginning, so we have started a very important week, what we call the Holy Week. To me, the two readings has a special place in our hearts as Christians. The first reading talk about what we call the servant of God. Who is the servant of God? We will find it in the book of Isaiah, the prophet Isaiah. And there are many chapters talking about the servant of God. And in the history, most of the time, they consider the book of Isaiah as if it was on the fifth gospel, because very close to the history and the mystery of Christ, the Messiah. For instance, the excerpt we have just proclaimed talk about the vocation of the servant of God. What was his vocation? It's just say that prophet was called by God to serve the people. Not to serve just one, two people, to serve the all people, all the crowd. That was his mission. So he became a servant. Now, when we want to grasp the really mission of Jesus, these readings help a lot. Because to understand that Jesus was also the servant of God, we can just pick up, remember, one of his sayings in the book, the Gospel of John. I will just read it to you, and you remember it, what it is about. You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that it is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also shall wash one another's feet. I have given you an example that you also should do as I have done to you. Who is the servant of God? The servant of God, he is in service. He serves people. So Jesus, all his life, all the teaching, all he was doing, it was to be there at the disposal of the people, of his disciples. All the people was looking for him. All his life, it was just giving his life for people. It's why we can consider him as the perfect servant of God. Because of he said, for the washing of the feet, he called each one of us to follow, to do the same thing. He said, you recognize me, that I am the Lord, okay? I am your teacher, your master. It is true. But because I am your teacher, so follow what I'm following, what I'm saying. And what you are telling us, to follow his path, to be serving people surrounding us, because we belong to him. I have another saying, just to provide the meaning of the servant, the vocation as servant of God. Jesus said at one point in the Luke of the Gospel of Matthew, he said, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. That is the vocation of the Messiah, to go to him with all is bothering us, with all we need in our souls, in our bodies, in our life. It is there at our disposal. So you go to him. When you talk to him, he will provide you with the blessings and the presence of his life. You want to give all that you need, not only the blessings, but also all the healings you are looking for. So today, let us ask the Lord to recognize him, because he is our servant. But being our servant is with us, in the midst of us. But being a servant, to be our servant, it is a call to each one of us to be in the same way, to be servants for others. So let's continue this celebration as we receive the body and blood of Christ. We'll have the very same talk, the very same prayer, that we become the servant of the Lord to each one another. Amen.